What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're getting into my January 27th NCAA Bracketology Predictions. So let's dive into it. A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, it's been a crazy year, to say the least, in the tournament right now. The tournament's really wide open, it feels like, right now. But if you look at the bracket watch, still the top overall seed is Purdue right now. Just continuing to find ways to win right now. I mean, that's basically what Purdue is. I mean, just... Man, they've won a lot of close games lately. They just barely survived against Michigan this week, so that's a big win for them. But, yeah, I mean, Purdue, congratulations for them. They just continue to win right now, and they're the number one seed still. First team out is Nevada, who a couple days ago beat New Mexico, a big win in double overtime. And then the last team in, we have Wisconsin. Not a huge fan of them. But if you look at the bubble right now, last buys, we have Maryland, Memphis, Kentucky, and then USC, who just beat UCLA last night by like 10 or more, I think. Wow, big-time win for USC. They looked impressive in that one. Last four in, we have Arizona State, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, and then Wisconsin. First four out, we have Nevada, Texas A&M, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, and then the next four out, Penn State, Oklahoma, Florida, and Wake Forest. So let's look at the full bracket here. Starting out with the first four games, we have SE Louisiana new to the field there, and FDU new to the field at a 16. We have Pittsburgh dropping down to a 12, as well as Wisconsin dropping down to a 12. Tennessee Tech new to the field at a 16, and then we have West Virginia new to the field there at the 11. All right, in the South region, as I said, Purdue, the number one overall seed right now. We have Southern Illinois jumping up to a 13 seed. Illinois going to be dropping down. I think that they were actually a 7, so this must be a typo. I think they should be jumping up to a 6 seed here. And then Kentucky dropping down to an 11. We have UNC Greensboro new to the field at a 14. St. Mary's going to fall to a 7 seed, and then Siena jumping up to a 15. In the Midwest region here, Alabama, your number one seed in this conference, playing great. Florida Atlantic going to be jumping up to an 8 seed. Iowa falls to a 9 after just barely losing to Michigan State in their last game. We have Miami jumping up to a 5 seed. Indiana going to fall to a 6 seed. Xavier jumping up to a 3. Clemson's going to be jumping up to a 7 seed, as well as Maryland jumping up to a 10, and then Vermont new to the field at a 15. All right, in the West region here, we have Houston as our number one overall seed in this region. MD Eastern Shore new to the field at a 16. We have NC State falling to an 8. Missouri's going to be jumping up to a 9. Charleston falling down to an 11 seed. And then we have Eastern Washington dropping down to a 15. In the East region here, we have Tennessee jumping up to 1. Also, I do believe that Kansas State should be falling here. It must be another typo. I believe that they were a 2 seed, so... after losing barely to Iowa State. That's what Kansas State is falling for. Then in the East region here, we have Tennessee at the 1 seed. Northern Kentucky new to the field at a 16. We have Southern Mississippi new to the field at a 13. Providence going to be jumping up to a 6 seed. USC new to the field at a 3, as I said. Very impressive against UCLA in their last game. Auburn going to be dropping down to a 7 seed. We have Northwestern jumping up to a 10, and they're playing great. I mean, Northwestern... I believe they're third or second in the Big Ten standings right now. They're playing great in conference play, really playing good for Northwestern, really changing this program around this season. And then Texas going to be jumping up to a 2. All right, so let's look at the bracket here now. Starting out with the first 4 games, I do believe that West Virginia will be able to beat Arizona State, although that's a good matchup. SE Louisiana, I think, could pull off the win over FDU. Pittsburgh, I think, could beat Wisconsin. And then Southern, I think, could beat Tennessee Tech. All right, so let's look at the bracket now. Starting out with this top left region here, we have Purdue beating SE Louisiana here. Arkansas, I do think, has enough talent to be able to move on past Creighton. And then last time I went with Duke here. Let's go with the upset here. Why not? Let's go with the 12 seed Kent State. Not a huge fan of Kent State, but Duke, I think, is a team that is at risk of getting upset in the first round, and I think it can come to Kent State there. Then moving on here, we have TCU beating Southern Illinois. Illinois, I think, can pull off the win over Kentucky, although that's a potential upset there. And then Iowa State, I think, could beat UNC Greensboro. St. Mary's could beat Boise State, as well as UCLA pulling off the win over Siena. All right, down here we have Tennessee beating Northern Kentucky in a great matchup between North Carolina and New Mexico. Yeah, I think that North Carolina is slightly the better team there. I'm going to go with them. And then UConn just lost to Xavier in their last game, just not playing good right now. I think that they're better than Pittsburgh. I'm not a big fan of Pittsburgh. I mean, UConn, but Pittsburgh is not the team to pull off that upset there, I think. And then Baylor, I think, could beat Southern Mississippi. Providence, I think, can pull off the win over USC. Virginia, I think, could beat Princeton. And then I'm going to go with the 10/7 upset here. Northwestern playing good basketball. Auburn is a good team, but I think Northwestern can pull off that win. And then Texas, I think, could be UNC Asheville. All right, here in this region, we have Alabama pulling off the win over Southern. Florida Atlantic beating Iowa, although that's a good 8-9. Miami, I think, could beat VCU, as well as Marquette over Liberty. Indiana, I think, could beat West Virginia. And then Xavier, I think, could beat Colgate. Then I'm going to go with a 10/7 upset here. Maryland over Clemson in that win. And then Kansas, I think, could beat Vermont. All right, so a lot more, not as much upsets here, but that's sometimes how these go. But Houston, I do think, could be MD Eastern Shore here. Missouri, I think, could pull off the 9/8 upset over NC State. I really do like Oral Roberts, but Rutgers is too good of a 5 seed in my opinion. I don't think that Oral Roberts is going to be able to win. Kansas State, I think, could beat Seattle. Michigan State, I think, could beat Charleston. That means we have all 6 seeds advance. That's the first time I've done that in a while. Usually at least 1 11 seed pulls off the upset, but I don't really like all these matchups. I do think Gonzaga could beat UNC Santa Barbara. San Diego State's a good team. Memphis looked good in their last game, though. I'm going to go with the 10/7 upset, though. I'm going with Memphis. And then Arizona, I think, could beat Eastern Washington. All right, let's go up here. Starting it with Purdue against Arkansas. I think that Purdue can win this one. TCU, I think, could beat Kent State there. And then I'm going to go with Iowa State to pull off the win over Illinois. And then UCLA, who is playing, they're not playing great, but against St. Mary's, I think that they can advance. So all chalk there, 1-4. Tennessee, I do think could beat North Carolina. And then Baylor, I think could beat UConn. Providence against Virginia. I'm going to go with Virginia, and then Texas. So again, all chalk in this region. Just not really liking all these matchups for upsets right now. I think that these are all the teams that I picked so far should win. All right, but then I'm going to go with Alabama to beat Florida Atlantic. Marquette, I think, could pull off the win over Miami. And then I'm going to go with a 6/3 upset here. Let's pull one. Xavier is a good team, but Indiana, I think, can have a little bit more firepower in this one to pull off a slight upset there. Well, not slight. It's actually a pretty decent upset, but Indiana, I think, is the better team. And then Maryland against Kansas. It's actually a good... You know what? Let's do it. It hasn't been a video of upsets, but let's just pull off 2 big upsets here. And Maryland, I think, could pull off the win over Kansas. Kansas is not playing great right now. Maryland's a good team here. Why not pull the string here? Pull off an upset. We'll have some fun in these bracketologies. All right, going over here, though. Missouri, I think, could pull off the upset over Houston. Not a huge fan of number 1 seed Houston. They got a lot of talent, but, they lost to Temple in their last game. I don't know about Houston. I'm just not sold on them right now. And I think that Missouri is a good 9 seed to pull off that win. Kansas State against Rutgers. I'm going to go with the 4-seeded Kansas State in that game. I'm going to go with the 6/3 upset here with Michigan State beating Gonzaga. Michigan State's playing good basketball right now, beating Iowa, and I'm not sold on Gonzaga either there. And then I'm going to go with the win for Arizona over Memphis. So a lot more upsets on that right side, but we have all chalk 1-4 on these 2 regions on the left. But here, Purdue versus TCU, and Purdue will fall. Ooh, wait. No, never mind. I'm going to go with Purdue. I just don't think that TCU's the team. You know what? Never mind. I'm switching it. Sorry, guys. TCU pulling off the upset. I mean, Purdue, they're such a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I'm worried because they keep winning these close games. Come tournament time, you know, you play an unfamiliar team, it might come back to bite you, and TCU's a good 4 seed. So I think that TCU can advance to the Elite 8 in a big win. And then I'm going to go with the Iowa State win. So we have a battle of the Big 12 teams right there in the Elite 8 over with Iowa State beating UCLA. Tennessee against Baylor. I'm going to go with Tennessee. And then Virginia, Texas. I'm going to go with the 3-seeded Virginia to win. All right, over here we have Alabama versus Marquette. I'm going with Alabama to win. And then Indiana versus Maryland. Let's send a double-digit seed. Ooh. No, I don't think I can do it. I'm going to go with Indiana. The 6th seed is a good 6th seed. I think that they could beat Maryland. All right, so going down here, we have Missouri versus Kansas State. I'm going to have to go with the 4-seeded Kansas State, and then Michigan State versus Arizona. Unfortunately, I do think the 2-seeded Arizona will be able to win that one. All right, so for a spot in the Elite 8, we have TCU versus Iowa State. Really good matchup, but I like the 3-seeded Iowa State. They're playing really good basketball right now. I think that I think that they should probably be a 2 seed here, and Iowa State's a really good team. So I'm going to go with Iowa State. Then I'm going to go with the 1-seeded Tennessee to advance past Virginia. You know, I mean, last time, never mind. We'll keep it. Alabama, I do think can be Indiana, and then for down here, I'm going to go with the 2-seeded Arizona beating Kansas State. Kansas State, really do love them, but I think that I should give Arizona a little bit more love. I really do like Arizona as a program, so I think that they can win. All right, so our Final Four, we have a 3-seed in Iowa State, a 1-seed in Tennessee, 1-seed in Alabama, and a 2-seed in Arizona. So we have 4 different never mind, SEC to SEC teams. But anyway, for a spot in the national championship game, we have Iowa State versus Tennessee. Let's send, I believe I went with Iowa State last time in these matchups. I'm not sure. But let's go with the better team. I think that is Tennessee. They're advancing. And then Alabama, unfortunately, I think that Arizona's not going to be able to beat Alabama there. I'm picking Alabama to win. All right, so for a spot in the for the championship, we have 2 SEC matchups between Tennessee and Alabama. And unfortunately, right now, I think that Alabama is the best team in the country there. I think that they can win the national championship right now. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your predictions. And anyway, peace.